Hello there. Uh, I know that last stream I gave up, I guess, but I've come to remember that is not the first game where I did not see it through. It was, I would say, maybe the second time, because I know, at least I don't think I ever finished Game for Anna, mainly because I have zero idea if there was anything else for me to do to continue with that. But other than that, let's move on. Uh, Okay, it's October 12th, so it's always a difficult day for me, but we'll get through it. This is when it comes to Spooktober would be the flashback of the games that I play, or at least a sort of callback or something that will probably be feel like it was in the back then. Mainly because, well, you followed me for a while. You know, I lost my best friend 15 years ago now, and without them, I would not have gotten into horror because they were very into horror. And it's honestly at this stage, it might be a bit difficult to find said horror games from the past just because they're Flash games. And if you know, Adobe ended all Flash support years ago. So a lot of those Flash games, if they were not saved through HTML5, I believe, or they weren't ported out to like some external thing, like their own game, like either onto Steam or its own app on like any like app store or anything, or it's saved through Ruffle now, like on Newgrounds. Newgrounds is one site that I know is preserving the said Flash games through that Ruffle program. It's not the only one. There's another one called Y8. You need to download. It's a game, another Flash game type thing, but it's more of a browser. So that has like the old school Flash games as well. If you would like to go blast for the past, other websites I don't know if they still exist. If you went to school the same years as I did, cool math games would ring a bell. I have no idea if that still exists. There's a lot of Flash games out there, like armorgames.com. I don't know if that still exists. Um, board.com was another one that I know of. And I don't know what else. Armor Games was one of the biggest ones. They might still be around. They might have gotten the Newgrounds treatment as well. I haven't tried. I probably should, but maybe some other time. But I got not one game, but two. From what I remember, I think this one was a short one, as opposed to the other one. If you know of Ex Mortis, I believe the first year I ever did the Spooktober games marathon stuff, I have done Ex Mortis 1 and 2 on the same day, I believe. I don't fully remember. It might have been that first year, but aside from that, the same person created this game and the one after this one. I don't know how successful they were. I know Ex Mortis was very big. It's still one of my favorite flash horror games that are out there. So we'll visit these next two ones. I know this one is short. I don't know. I don't remember how long the next one is, but well, we'll just get right into it as soon as I find it. Purgatorium. There's that ruffle thing that I was talking about earlier. It looks hardware acceleration is that well. There's a reason I disabled that, and I plead the fifth on why I have that disabled. If you were in my Discord server, you probably know why. Wow, this was casualgameplay.com. Well, I feel like this ran perfectly before back then. I actually don't remember. We are all born unto this world as nothing more than a lump of clay, but it's the sum of one's life experiences that molds the wicked man. Thomas P. Evans. No idea who you are, but yep, there's Leffler Web Design. They, as I said before, they made Ex Mortis. I don't know if they still do web game design, but wow, this is running like a potato. I wonder if it's because I had to zoom in so much because the window for this was very, very small. I am zoomed in. I have broken it. But as you can see by the text, I am very zoomed in. So let me get this right. Purgatorium. Point and click horror games were at the peak when I was a child. I like how the title was moving by seamlessly, and now this is having an issue. Okay, maybe I should turn on hardware acceleration. Okay, I would most likely have to restart my browser if I do that, though. Actually, it's probably fine. As you can see, it's in the style of Ex Mortis. The slight scent of melted. I don't remember most of this game. A severed head, skewered with a barbecue fork for good measure. Hmm? It's just a window, but beyond its glass is a vast oblivion of darkness. I could probably use this fork, actually. Yes, I will take it. A slight scent of a melted plastic and burnt hair lingers so in the air. The doll looks like I can't, like it's a half bad of it. Okay, I'm tired of trying to read that properly. It's the only door out of this strangely haunting room, but it seems locked. I may be able to pick it with some thin object. Well, I think that's why I got the fork. At least I think that's why I got the fork. What the hell? Why is this door bricked in? Am I trapped in here? I have to get out. But why is there a brick missing? I like how the sound effects is also drawing from Ex Mortis. Now that it's dark in here, I can clearly see a source of light through the missing brick in the doorway. It's gotta be some kind of joke. It's a gravestone with my name on it. What is this? Am I dead? Wait. I remember a fire. My child and wife died. Blood on my hands. Picking up a doorway to hide from. I don't understand. What the hell is happening here? Father and husband. I was old. Murderer. Family slaughter. Police were unable to save a woman and her 8-month-old son from her mentally ill husband, Bill Rydell. Today, as he bricked his family in a room and proceeded to mutilate them with a variety of household tools, authorities arrived on the scene to find the house burning uncontrollably and all 3 members of the family deceased. I am a murderer. I have murdered. Happy Halloween. And that's the end of the game. I like how this is apparently so loud, my desktop audio is bleeding red. But, okay. Now I would need to do this again. Let me turn on hardware acceleration for this next one. I feel like maybe it's needed. Just based on how slow that has been going. Give me one quick second. Hiya. And settings. Was it hardware acceleration? I'll look up acceleration. Use graphics acceleration when available. Relaunch. Did that close all my tabs? I had another game running in the background. Okay, they're reopening. And close that. Need this one open though. I'm so zoomed in. Zoomed in. Yes, I said that properly. Let me re-angle this game again. That's probably fine. And now let's see if I can get this running properly. Hiya! Welcome back. This is Goliath The Soothsayer, also made by the same person from the previous game. Let's get right into it. Ruffle. It should hopefully run better now that I have my graphics card running. I have been flashbang like I'm playing CSGO. Leffler Web Design. I should probably look into him. Maybe he's made other games that I would probably find. I don't know if he's made many. Universal Records presents. A game based on a true story by the Mars Volta. Goliath The Soothsayer. I really do. It started a week ago. My brother had been missing for the better half of a year, and we had all but given up any hope of finding him alive. It was as if he just suddenly disappeared from the face of the earth, leaving everything behind. It was decided that his affairs and finances should be handled and closed off immediately. You'll never guess which lucky sibling got that job. Initially, everything was relatively straightforward and simple. That is, until that first night at my brother's house. Strange noises and dark whispers plagued my sleep. I remember running and stumbling in my own vain attempts to escape the horrors nestled deep in my dreams. I need to go a bit lower. Ooh, yeah. Go. And I awoke the following morning, not in the bed to which I fell victim to exhaustion, but on the cold wooden floors of the attic with no recollection of how I came to be in this room. The most disturbing of all, as my only exit was mysteriously locked from the outside. I have been here in this attic for days, unable to escape whatever holds me captive in this room. You can hear them in this house, the walls, and in the floors. They utter obscenities and demand reverence. I sometimes even think that I can hear my brother's voice amongst the cacophony of vitriolic abuse. So here I sit, tormented and driven to the brink of insanity. And no matter how loud I scream, the voices shriek back louder. All that I know is that I must now escape this prison and find a way to release myself and my brother's soul from the bondage of this evil. Somewhere in this house, the answer waits for me. Light streams through the window. Through it, I can see the backyard and the forest that this property backs onto. I could break this window and scream for help, but with not another house within 5 miles, I would be wasting my breath. Well, you're not doing much, just breathing in this oxygen to begin with. The pocket of the sports coat is bulging. Maybe it's a good idea to check it out. Our Father who art in heaven, hallowed by thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done, on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our trespasses as we forgive those who trespass against us. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, and the power, and the glory, forever and ever. Amen. A Roman Catholic prayer card, that's unusual. I didn't know my brother was a religious person. I am not one either. I was also under the impression he was agnostic. Maybe he found faith before he disappeared from the face of the earth. Is that in my inventory? I swear I thought I heard something. Okay, I need a. How do I zoom in? I don't know how I zoomed in before. Oh, there we go. Oh, oh. Uh, there we go. I guess we'll deal with that because I am noticing that part of my things are cut up. Oh, that's what I was doing. The urn on the floor here is empty, but it seems that it was once filled with salt poured on the floor that is on the foot of the door. It's odd. There's a thick line of salt on the floor here, spanning from one side of the door to the other. It's almost as if whoever places here did so in an attempt to create a barrier. The door is locked, and unfortunately, this is my only way out of this attic. I have to get this door open somehow. What awaits for me outside this room is merely secondary to my concerns. Well, I have prayer card. That's about it. Okay, so think about the salt. Ooh, there's a rope. Did I take it? Can I take the gun? An old musket is racked up against the wall. Somehow I don't think it will work, and it's missing its firing hammer. Well, you never know. On an old wooden crucifix in one of these drawers. Okay. I know there's like I don't know the story of like Goliath in the Bible. I know it was like David and Goliath and how David ended up beating Goliath. I assumed this rope would have done fine. Use a rope with window. I gotta pick the lock, but it wouldn't help. The door handle freely turns, however, the door doesn't budge. I'm no handyman, but it seems to me that the side of the handle rivet is threaded and won't work. Perhaps the handle will work from the other side. There is a thing that I have been seeing on YouTube Shorts that involves a coat hanger and how they break into your hotel rooms by feeding that coat hanger under the door, and they can kind of make that coat hanger reach to the lock if it's there and have the door open from the inside, and then they can just get access to your hotel room that way. So yeah, good luck. Even if you have the thing, like if it's locked, they can unlock it, and I think they can probably do that too with the latch that they have to keep the door from opening, even from like staff, because that latch stops the door. But yeah, what did I just hear? I don't know what I just heard, but I thought I just heard something. Okay. Oh, can I take the gun? Use rope with gun. Okay, so I don't have anything that I can use that. I don't know, take the gun anyway, if it doesn't have the firing pin. I'm used to that game that I played yesterday, where I gotta do this to go back. Okay, here, let me use the rope. I feel like I could use the rope with something here. Prayer card doesn't help me that either. And seems like the salt is also kind of like there's a I don't know what religion it is, but like they put like salt on the edges of like the entrances, like the doorways and stuff. I believe it's also like on the edges of the house as well. And it's believed that it wards off any like evil spirits or demonic spirits from entering into your house. Weirdly enough, phasmophobia also goes into that belief. Can't use the rope. I feel like the rope would have helped with something here. Yes, use rope with window. I feel like I can use the rope with something. Can't feed it under the door either. Okay. So aside from that, there has to be something else over here. Oh. Can I take that? Okay, use threaded the hook to the rope. How did I not like was like I had to click that specific thing? Okay. Rope and hook. You know, you could use this. Pretty sure not with this. I can like use it with the door. Unless I use it to exit out this way. No? Okay. Well, I tried. I mean, I could hook it up, can't I? No, I can't even break out the window. It's not like I'm trying to scream. I'm actually trying to use it to get out from here, but I guess not. Okay, this is where pixel hunting comes in again. Okay, let's try it on this side because I feel like I can't. I went back. I didn't mean to go back. I feel like I can use this here. Can I use the hook to fire the gun? Prayer card, crucifix. No, I can't do that there. What is this? Oh, that just leads me back out. Okay, so I can use this somewhere. And the fact that these are up here, like, oh, here we go. Oh, yeah. No idea what that was, or if I'm doing it right. Damn, I was about to click on that. Wall on the left here is cracked all the way along the length of this area. Probably a good bet that whatever malevolent force exists in this house is responsible for this. It's a photo of my brother and with two friends. He's the one dressed in a white shirt in the middle. It appears that this photo was taken in the Middle East as it was marked Jerusalem 2005. Right, let's head down. Alright. The area up ahead is too dark to see anything. I'm not going to move any further until I can light this area up. Perhaps a light switch might be a good place to start. Yeah, there's one right here. Ooh, and the voices have stopped. There is a computer. There's this dinosaur that's here. Ooh, it turned on. Interesting. My brother kept an e-diary. Maybe this will give me some insight on what's going on around here. I don't have a passcode. 000. Oh, I thought that would go through like all of them. What a coincidence that his Kleenex is right next to the computer. Murder. I kept that for some reason. Why is there like there's a computer here, there's obviously a monitor here. That this looks like a mini PC drive thing that I think Apple made. And this looks like a laptop over here. I can't do anything with that unless I find the password. Can I open these? Nope. Alright, let's get well damn. Let's slam the door while we're at it.
Can you hear me? I can't diminish anymore. If I choose to dissolve you, there's so much we can lose. Are you hearing me?
Uh-huh. Oh my god, that actually scared me. Jesus Christ. Oh. Yeah, the Islamic Quran. I'm keeping that in my inventory too. Okay. It's a rather uncomfortable looking chair. You sat in the chair? Just slam the door every time we leave. Let's go this way, actually. There's another strange line of salt outside the bedroom door. This barrier seems to have been broken. In any case, I don't remember this being here the last time. Let's go to the bathroom. Ooh. Bathroom has 2 wash basins. Okay. If now is not the time to use the toilet, then why did you flush the toilet? That's clearly signs to use the toilet. Alright, enough of that. Alright, into the master bedroom. I know another religious artifact I will take. An uncomfortable looking recliner. How does this look uncomfortable? What looks comfortable to you? A vinyl shade blinds blocks view from the window. Interesting. An alarm clock with digital readout sits on the table. Interesting. Not gonna mention the voices. My brother's bed. Oddly enough, the bed has been neatly arranged to a 5-star hotel standards. Love. I'm keeping that too, I guess. Switch the bedside lamp. Okay. Let's sink in again. This is why I loved Ben Leffler's games, because these horror things are insane. Oh my god. That actually really scared me. Slam the door. There's another set of stairs down the hallway, so let's go that way. It is too dark. Well, okay. The living room. I mean, the lounge. Why was that so loud? There's a lot of religious artifacts in here. Though I think if your house is haunted by like a billion like spirits, you would turn to any religion if you are agnostic to find out which is the right one and which one will help you throughout the thing. Because I got like Catholic, that's not religion. Um, like there's a crucifix here. There's the Holy Quran, which I believe is Muslim. Shiva, which I believe is Buddhist. Obviously Jewish is right there too, and then there's a Buddha statue. I don't remember if Shiva, well, like what a specific religion. I know it was in the Asian countries for Shiva, or Middle Eastern. I could be completely wrong. I don't know much about religion. Okay, a couple of pens. Lust. I will probably take this too. But what is that? Shinto Emma. Go to the closet, however, no matter how hard I pull, it won't budge. Well, have you tried pushing? Yeah, you're pulling. Maybe it's a push door. Bitches. Oh, that's what led me downstairs. Okay. So now where can my brother have kept the key? I assume this leads to the attic where I was in. Yes, it was. Okay. Is there anything else? Oops. Sorry, I didn't mean to turn that off. So I need the passcode, which I believe it could be in the bedroom. Like, obviously, maybe this is something. Like, maybe these 4 numbers are the code. Like, this could be like 4, maybe. This could be maybe 8. 0295. Am I saying that right? Like, I was like, there's a number there, and obviously that's covering out, so you could see like 2, then 9, and then 5. 0295. Let's try that. Slam that door as loud as possible. Okay, so 0, 2, 9, and 5. Enter. Aha. I am a Judness. 12th February. After the dramas and getting from Spain across to Greece, I was quite surprised in how quickly and effortless the trek into the Middle East was. Brad was not wrong. When he mentioned how cold it gets in the highlands of Israel this time of year, I wrongfully met his original statement as such with sarcasm. So anyway, this morning I finally made it into the Jerusalem half, expecting a place of quiet spiritualistic harmony. However, once again, I find myself surprised with the cacophony of noise and the speed of life around here. I think I'm going to enjoy the 3 remaining days in the hustle and bustle city. Interesting. 14th February. Today I've been resting up by the pool after yesterday's awesome day of schlepping through local markets and shops. I bought Angela a whole bunch of clothes. Unfortunately, I couldn't find any I Love Israel t-shirts for her. Mum and Dad some ornaments, Adam an awesome leather-bound notebook, and I even got myself a little something to waste some time. Of all the places in the world to literally walk into a curio shop, I never expected it to be the holy city of Jerusalem. The strange-looking gentleman picked off a suede bag from behind his counter and offered me its contents. A very generous price. Examining the bag a little closer, it held a few items that instantly perked my interest. Inside, I found what at first looked like a foreign board game. Upon closer inspection, it was a lot of in common with what is known in my culture as an Ouija board. Alright, so, of course, out of nowhere, I get a Luigi board in this. Alright, so go ahead. Tell me more about this Ouija board that you have. Also inside was a glass divining guide for the board, religious art related paraphernalia, not just Judaism, but from a variety of different religions, and an old scroll, which, with my limited understanding of the local tongue, reads in the form of a poem. Maybe when I'm lying bored on the beach in Thailand next week with a margarita and a newspaper in hand, I might decide to pass some time by playing around with my new purchase. But until then, I've got too much to do. Trying to figure out how to play with this Weggy board. 18th February. Here is sit in the terminal of Indira Gandhi International Airport in Delhi. Unfortunately, I am restricted to this immediate area as I wait for my connecting flight to Malaysia to start boarding. The air here smells kind of musky, however, unique enough to tantalize my culturally explorative nature. And to note for my future endeavors to this country, stay away from the airport cafe lamb rolls. They are nasty. 21st February. It's a hard life, isn't it? As I type this out on my keyboard, I'm lying here on a secluded Thai beach, looking over the ocean with the sunset as its background. Simply beautiful. Tonight is the first night in a while that I've had no plans to do anything. My interest in the Luigi board that I picked up in Jerusalem last week was perked up to a point where I might kill an hour tonight playing around with it in my bungalow. What sort of spirits will I encounter in my Weggy board? But as before, the odds are that the Wedgie board will end up in storage when I return home, and only see the light of day whenever I need a talking point with guests. So I might as well get my money's worth out of this damn thing. Okay, it's going to sound strange. The Wedgie board spoke to me. No, not literally, but when I used it for the first time last night, I actually think that I contacted something. Maybe it was just my subconscious manifesting itself with movements of the glass without my self-awareness being engaged. Well, that's what my new Pakistani friend Kazi seems to think. Or maybe, just maybe, there is something more to this Luigi board than I have ever heard, have ever hoped for. Not much information was passed on to me through this medium. Only a few answers of yes and no to a few generic and boring questions. Still, exciting all the same. Oh, I can't wait to play more of this Weggy board. I received word today that Brad has been rushed to the hospital. He mentioned something along the lines of experiencing chest pains, feeling dizzy, and passing out in a public place. Apparently, he feels okay now and was kept overnight for observation. However, what is of great concern is that even after the doctors ran a whole variety of tests on him, they still don't know what could have caused what seemed to have from the symptoms of a heart attack. Brad insisted I stay in Thailand while he traveled back home and consulted his own doctor. I could sense he was a little freaked out by what had happened. Once again, I found myself a little shaken by the Luigi board I picked up in Jerusalem. Last night I decided to play around with it again, purely out of interest to see if I could get similar results this time around. The phrase of the day is, and then some, rather than repeated yes and no to my questions. I started getting constructed words. It was all going very pleasant at first, but what scared me away from the Luigi board was when the words, how is Brad, formed. Surely my subconscious at work again, but because I sure as hell didn't spell it out intentionally. Little experiment this time around. I invited Kazi over earlier today to sit in on Ascension with the Weggy board. Ever the skeptic, Kazi's original reaction to my offer forced me to also offer a copious amount of the local Bintang beer. It didn't take long for the spirits of the board to come out of the hiding, and without fail, we were witnessing constructed sentences being formed. At this point, the standard banter between Kazi and I started flying. You're doing that. No, you are. To which we agreed to remove our hands from the diving glass at the same time. For a moment, just a small moment, it seemed the glass moved by itself. Oh, I skipped the 29th, 30th, and 31st of February. I finally arrived back home. After a long trip, the phrase, there's no place like home, rings so damn true. The place hasn't changed a bit, save for the new layers of dirt, dust, and maybe a couple of critters making my attic their new home. After the amazing sights and experiences I've had in Europe, the Middle East, and Asia, I am having trouble comprehending a return to the mundane life of an insurance salesman. As nice as it is to be home, I am not looking forward to slipping back into the habit of spending bored nights staring blankly at the TV. At least I have Goliath. Goliath? Where did I get that name from? Reading over my previous entry into this diary, I made mention of that name. I can't remember where I pulled it from. But maybe it has something to do with the unusual nightmares I've been having of late? Or could I have heard that name elsewhere? Well, I mean, it's possible. It would depend exactly where it is that you live. Because I know where I live, we have something called Six Flags. And in Six Flags, it is a amusement park. And in the amusement park, there is a roller coaster called Goliath. Anyway, in any case, it seems like an appropriate name for the spirits of the board. Speaking of, tonight might require another session to once again kill some time. Just can't deal with another episode of Dancing with the Stars. Rabbit hole runs deeper than I had ever expected. I've been contacting Goliath fairly frequently of late. I fear that this is becoming somewhat of an obsession of me. But the more I use the board, the further and further I delve into its history, and the more I lose myself. The nightmares have been getting worse. I've even now started to find myself sleepwalking. On the odd occasion, I would fall asleep in bed or on the couch and would wake up in the attic. Always the attic. Don't understand why. Okay, I'm ready to burn this board. Things have suddenly turned nasty. You are mine. What the hell is that supposed to mean? I ended up deciding against destroying the board for now. However, I did discard it to the corner of the closet. Yes. I am ready to close the book on that chapter for the time being. Oops. Brad is dead. His mother called me today to relay the news. One moment he's walking around and talking to his family, and suddenly he trips on the corner of a rug and hits his head on the granite bench top. I don't understand. I'm absolutely devastated. He was just 28 years old as me. I am sure if the distant cackling laughter I heard after receiving the news was coming from the closet or a dark corner of my mind. Brad's funeral was today. It was a sad day indeed. His whole family was there, as was our circle of friends. In talking to them all, there seems to be a streak of bad luck hitting those closest to me. Julie had a miscarriage a week ago. David broke his leg after coming off of his bike. Greg and Dan are being audited by the IRS for taxation anomalies that neither were aware of. And then Brad. On another tangent, everyone I spoke to today at the funeral commented about how tired I looked. I guess the lack of quality of sleep lately is starting to take its toll on me. I received a frantic phone call at 3 a.m. this morning from Kazi. At first, he was talking so frantically that I had trouble understanding him, but after I managed to calm down, he got to the reason for his call. It seems that ever since he and I spoke to the Goliath spirits in that board, strange accidents and disturbing events have plagued him and those close to him. A strange parallel to what I had been experiencing since isolating the board to the downstairs closet. Kazi implored me to take his request seriously. He apparently consulted with the local medicine man and described to him what had happened when we were together in Thailand and used the board. The medicine man was very stern in what we needed to do to alleviate our circumstances. Kazi referred to the medicine man calling the board the Soothsayer. To sever our bondage to these spirits, Kazi implored me to split the board up to 7 pieces, and along with 7 religious artifacts, bury it where no one will ever find it. The medicine man also suggested that we each wear white for a year to stave off any possible residual harm that may be brought upon us. Worst case scenario, create an unbreaking barrier of salt to create safe rooms in my house. Naturally, I dismissed Kazi by telling him that I would take his pleas seriously. As disturbing as his call was, Kazi was known for his excessive use of medicinal supplements. Let it be a warning, kids. Say no to drugs. Kazi's requests are starting to not seem so crazy after all. I'm starting to hear and feel things around me which defy any rational explanation. Appliances turning themselves on, cold spots in random areas of the room, thumping and whispering. This morning I got out of the shower and thought I heard a deep guttural growl echo down the hallway. The walls seemed to breathe, and lights seemed to buzz with electrical activity, while lights dim, flare and burn out on a daily basis. This is why I will never want to live alone. I fear my obsessive use of the Soothsayer has given Goliath a taste of my world. I've opened the door enough for them to see the other side, but I don't think I've given them enough space to come through just yet. Last night I dreamed again. A man, a woman, and her mother, fighting amongst themselves until a knife was pulled, and then I awoke in a hot sweat. Once again, finding myself on the floor of the attic. I received an email from Kazi asking why I haven't destroyed the board yet. He assumed as much after his run of injuries and bad luck continued to snowball since we last spoke. He kept referring to the love-lust-murder triangle of the spirits that keep within the confines of the Soothsayer, a context that is lost on me at the moment. Things are getting intensely frightening here. Not only am I hearing and feeling strange things, I am now seeing the apparitions in mirrors and in the shadows of this house. God help me. If Kazi's medicine man feels his suggestions can help, then it is time for me to take his advice seriously. Why would I not have taken his advice seriously to begin with? It's like you don't know that medicine man could mean so much other things when it comes to like different cultures. I ran full pelt into the park behind my house with shovel in hand and dug a hole deep enough that not even 100 years of natural erosion would uncover the Soothsayer. Sweaty and dirty, I returned to the house to collect that infernal board. To my dismay, when it came time to remove the board from the safe I had placed it in, I realized that I had forgotten and misplaced the access code. In a rage, I kicked and screamed, slamming doors in my wake. And one chance to disburden myself of this guilt. Bad luck and pain and I have unleashed upon myself and my friends. Once gone, so I could piece together the code for the safe. Here I now sit, hearing the whispers again. Speaking lies. All of it lies. Goliath and the Soothsayer are not to be trusted. They may manipulate our lives, or demand reverence and payment for our dabbling with the Soothsayer, but we are all empowered by our privileged existence. They can have the last shreds of my desperate sanity, but they'll never take my soul without a fight. These words still echo my thoughts. You are mine. Payment indeed. They are coming for me right now. I can hear their screams and demands getting louder and louder with each moment that passes. The stairs, the hallways, outside this door right now. Consummate the vows of defeat. Dear God, and document. I should be an author, not an author, a narrator. I like reading stuff. So I need to find the safe, and I need to find the board. Do I have 7 pieces of religious? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, so I'm currently missing a bunch of other stuff. but I have three, no, three words and the seven religious artifacts. I just need to find the safe. Is there something else in this bedroom that I could? No, I'm gonna leave that on. Thank God that jump scare didn't happen again. I miss anything in this bathroom other than me being able to flush the toilet? Oh, the steam from the tap brings up a message on the mirror. Look not for what is there. Look for what is not there. What do you mean by what is not there? Where is the safe? That's honestly what I would like to know. Where is safe? I need safe. I need to feel safe. Where is safe? It is not in my belt. Holy shit. There's a bright light coming from behind this door. Not to mention a deep guttural growl coming from the same area. I'm not sure I want to be going in there, but god damn it, I haven't been sure about anything. So I'll head in there I go. I found the key. Triangle, square, circle. Triangle, square, circle. Well, circle is murder. Heart is love. I know I said triangle. Celeste is square. Uh. Fuck. Is it like. So it's. Love, lust, murder. One, two, three. Was it 446? No, that's not. Okay, so. Love, lust, murder. So love. Lust. Murder. Ah, I got it. Okay, so if you're trying to figure out how I got it, it's obviously the L in 5, the O, B, E. It's obviously not like how it was when I was a kid and we text where we had to, yeah, so in order to spell love back then as a text, it's 555-666-88833. And obviously 555-887778 would be lust, and then murder is 688-777-333-777 for murder. If you need a tutorial on how to text back then, when before we had actual keyboards on our phones, then yeah, there's that. This is it. Soothsayer that my brother obsessed over in his diary. Could this be the cause of his disappearance and all those crazy things I witnessed in this house? My brother mentioned that I had to bury this board, split it into 7 pieces. Only then will his soul be released. How do I split it into 7 pieces? Oh, I'll be in here. I have the key. Okay, I misclicked. Head back. But, yes, I have a key. Be sure. Hiya and hiya. message has been carved on the table. Brother, use the soothsayer. Save my soul and yourself. No, I don't think I will. And so, Goliath the Soothsayer is no more. Buried deep under the top soil of a secluded national park. How did I dig a hole in a national park? And why is my house on a national park? And nigh a chance in hell the demonic entities trapped within its physical confines escaping to terrorize anyone again. And while the mystery of my brother's disappearance will continue to be unsolved case, resurrection before succumbing to the legion of the board would set me on the path to ensure his will would be carried out. And I continue onward in this world, wiser from the ordeal, and with the knowledge that greater powers looks over us all. Some with envious eyes, and some with kind benevolence. Try again for alternate. Let's do it. Let's use the actual thing. Wait, what? There's something else here? Never mind. Yeah, let's see the bad ending. I'm assuming it's the bad ending. My god. I need to keep my mouse on it. Okay, yeah. I do need to keep my mouse on it. Why? Oh, you. A-R-E. U-R-M-I-N. Armand. The Mars Volta. Bedlam. Goliath. Well, this has been Goliath the Soothsayer. Let's end it on the good end. Where I don't fall into temptation. Oh, wow. I didn't expect it to lead me to Amazon. Okay, let me get out of there. Obviously, you press no, you're gonna get sent to Amazon. Well, that was Goliath the Soothsayer. Another amazing game made by the same developer that has made the Ex Mortis games. These type of horror games do bring back a lot of good memories, and it's always fun to just like dabble back into like old school style things are. There's a lot of old horror games that I wish were kind of revived or put the spotlight back on. But you know what? Maybe it's my job to do that someday. So keep an eye out in the future for when I bring back the spotlight on some old horror games that probably don't even get much attention anymore as the times go on. Horror as a medium has always been something fun to experience, especially on your own. So when it comes to that, I highly, highly recommend every single one watching this to give these games out a try yourself. Highly guarantee that your own experience might differ when you play it as opposed to just watching me play. Give these games the revival they need. Bring the spotlight back on them if possible. They deserve everything. And this whole goes into the whole notion of, gaming as a medium, all the good stuff, maybe even the bad stuff. Don't know what bad video games have been out since Concord, but old video games, even the old school Flash games, they're still games. They should be preserved for because you get something like this made by, I'm pretty sure it was made by a solo developer, and it was absolutely amazing. You also get some things that no longer exist anymore, and you can no longer play. I have done this, I believe it was in the last Spooktober marathon I did, or it was two Spooktobers, but what I'm referring to is Hotel 626 and Asylum 626. Those two were games made by Doritos to promote new flavors that they had come out, and unfortunately, with those games, they no longer exist. You can no longer play them, and I'm pretty sure if you look them up on YouTube without finding like a walkthrough, you might even find my video of me talking about like the videos that I watched that I reacted to for that. But there are things out there that say these are some of the best horror games that you can no longer play, and it's true. Those Hotel 66 and Asylum 66 were pretty revolutionary for the time, and every now and then I just absolutely wish that they come back. Let me see, actually, if I can even come back to them. Hotel 626, song by Why Alive. No, not the song. If I could come back to this, I will play this immediately. Yep, no, I can't. This is just telling you the premise of it. Uh, Launch project. Wait a minute. You mean I can play this? No, this is just a video. Never mind. I have gotten false hope. This Hotel 66, yeah, it's no longer available. Try if you might. You won't find it, but if you do want to see it, uh, I did make a video reacting to it, and then the video I reacted to was based on a guy going through the whole game without dying, and I also kind of said what would happen if you failed, or how you fail in those. And I think I also like mentioned some of the things that the game did that current games probably will not be able to do. I will probably link that video in the description to YouTube. Same, and obviously in that link of the in YouTube, we'll have the link to the other, uh, the actual, not the game, but the video that I reacted to, which I highly suggest you give them the like as well and the follow if you do decide to look into that. But we'll end this here. Back to the old school and back to paying homage to the person that got me into horror to begin with. Can only hope that they are resting well and they are free from all the pain that was causing them. So thank you for joining me on this adventure. I hope that helped make your day at least a little bit better. And when it comes down to it, I hope your house is safe because I can guarantee just watching this to the end has already been cursed into you. And you know what? Maybe it's already too late. Maybe I did a secret ritual when I flushed the toilet. Good night. Good luck. Sleep in fear tonight. I'll see you on the next one. Maybe.